and a very warm welcome to all of you. The big game coming up today in the T20 World Cup. It is South Africa versus Pakistan, the only team that is unbeaten in this tournament so far. South Africa versus Pakistan, who look to keep their hopes, even if they're slightly less, alive by beating South Africa. But South Africa are fresh off a win against India, and they would really be buoyed by that win. Now, the news from the SCG is that Pakistan have won the toss, and this is in fact the same pitch where Sri Lanka New Zealand game was played. So Pakistan have won the toss, and they have opted to bat first. What can they do? It's important today. It's a must-win game for Pakistan if they want to keep that hope of making it to the knockouts alive. Ashok Malhotra joins me here on the show. Sir, first up, South Africa versus Pakistan. Big game for Pakistan. They need to win this to have their chances alive. How do you see this match going today? They've opted to bat first after winning the toss.
See, they have opted to bat first, but their openers are struggling. Be it Rizwan, be it Babar Azam, both are struggling. If they get off to a good start, if both of them start firing, then South Africa can be in trouble. Because if those two fire, then you have got late order batsmen who can play some big shots. But the start is very vital. First 6 overs are going to be very vital. If you can score say 6 overs, even 40 without losing a wicket, then you have laid a good foundation. From there, you can put a formidable total. Because South Africa, we know, South Africa, if they are chasing, they all must be praying and hoping the entire South African dugout that Bavuma gets out as cheaply as possible, as early as possible. Yeah. So they can do their business, do their job.
That's right. So at the toss, Babar Azam said that they look to bat first, put runs on the board and then place them under pressure in the chase. They've got one change in the Pakistani lineup, which was an expected change since Fakhar Zaman was injured. In place, Mohammad Haris, who was drafted in later, he has come in, sir. There is also one change for South Africa, and which is David Miller, the star from the last game against India. He misses out with an injury, and Klaasen replaces him. Shamshi is in and he replaces Keshav Maharaj. That's the change. Whereas for Pakistan, like I said, there is just one change here. And a lot will again depend on what is the kind of start that Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam give to Pakistan, because they've struggled. And this team depends on them. Shan Masood has actually batted well, sir. He's really been their savior when the openers have gotten out early. How important is it for the openers to get runs today for them to have any chances of winning?
See, if they got to have any chance of winning the game, if there any chance of putting up a formidable total, it has to be the opening partner. Babar Azam, who has been struggling with his form. But as I said before, the last game he was run out. Probably that's the last straw. From there, you normally get back into form when you're out of form. So he might be on the verge of getting back into form. But if he gets back in form and Rizwan compliments him, then they can be very formed. They will be very destructive. And then South Africa playing without David Miller, which is a huge blow for South Africa, especially having I would say Bavuma in their side. So now they're playing with 9 players instead of 11, because with Bavuma they were playing with 10 players. So I think it is going to be a very big blow. But if they get 150, 160, Pakistan has a very good bowling attack to defend the total.
That's right. The other things are being that the changes in trying to get Shamshi in place of Keshav Maharaj. Do you think they would have, they should have gone in with 2 spinners, because SCG is one of those tracks where spin does come into play, or you know, South Africa just no. And I think the difficult bit was also which pacer should have gotten out for both the spinners to play.
See, the thing is, even MCG, there has been a lot of bounce and pace. We saw it in India-Pakistan game. There's a lot of bounce and pace. There's a lot of life for fast bowlers. And I think 4 is good enough, but I'm surprised that they've replaced Keshav Maharaj, who has been bowling very competently, bowling very economically, and he's been a good man. Shamsi, does pick up wickets, but he goes for very many. So that has been my thinking. So why would you make two changes? Are you trying to shoot yourself in the foot? I would not know. You already shot yourself in the foot with having Babu as skipper. So three top players out of this South African team. I feel sorry for them and with Park for batting. If you put runs on the board, then I don't see South Africa winning this game.
Also, South Africa's middle order, sir, with David Miller out, like you were just saying, big blow, but the others have been doing well, and it'll come down to, someone like Riley Russo, who got out on a duck in the last game, how he plays, because we've seen he's already scored 100, that's back-to-back hundreds for him, with Babuma struggling, David Miller not there. Quinton de Kock gets the runs, but he needs someone at the other end to score quickly. In that case, Riley Russo being very important for them today?
He is, but he's a bit suspect against left-handers. So is Quinton de Kock. If Shine Shafrizi comes in full form, he can swing the ball away from the left-handers. They both are like sitting ducks, like Arshdeep showed us not once, but twice. Once in India, once in Australia, so they both tend to struggle. Riley also, either he gets out on zero, he scores 100. So he is a hit or miss kind of a player. So it will be a challenge for Riley also to get runs. And not forget, they will be chasing a target. Chasing a target is always a difficult proposition, especially when your main guy, who has been winning matches for you, David Miller, is not part of the team. I know Henrik Klaasen is not a bad player, especially against a team like India. But all in all, as of now, I think they seem to have weakened a bit South Africa. And if I'm saying a very big if the openers get off to a good start, Pakistani openers, then anything is possible. And if they put 150, 160 on the board, I see Pakistan winning this game.
Okay, let's move on, sir. Also from the last game that we saw, which India won against Bangladesh. Now there is this big news coming from there, which is that their wicketkeeper batter Nurul Hassan has accused Virat Kohli of fake fielding. And I wanted your reaction to this. Now, this incident happened in the 7th over, which went unnoticed, not just by the umpires there, Chris Brown and Murray Erasmus, but also by the players who were involved, or the players who were in the middle, Bangladeshi players. But Nurul Hassan suggested in the press conference, this is what he said. He said, certainly the field was wet and it had an impact, and everyone saw that. And eventually what I felt is that when we were talking, there was a fake throw. And it could have been a 5-run penalty, and that could have gone our way. But unfortunately, even that didn't come. He said this to the reporters yesterday. Now, the incident was, I don't know if you've seen the incident, but if you haven't, the incident was Arshdeep collected the ball in the deep and threw it to the wicketkeeper. And Virat Kohli was there in the middle, and he sort of just tried to feign throwing. There you can see that, throwing the ball, but the ball had directly reached. And the point that stands out for me, sir, here was that it wasn't, the two players there were not really distracted. The two players, Liton Das and Shanto, they were not distracted, they were not deceived. Now, the law itself says pertaining to unfair play prohibits the deliberate distraction, deception or obstruction of the batter. And if an incident is deemed to be a breach, the umpire can declare that particular delivery as dead ball and award the batting side 5 runs. How do you see this? And also with Nurul Hassan now questioning the officials, could this go against him? Ashok sir, your reaction?
Yeah, see, may I first and foremost, they're bad persons. Why don't they look at themselves? Why don't they look at the mirror itself? Well, even after Liton Das gave them a blinder of a start, why did they throw away the wickets? Why couldn't they bat sensibly? Why they were trying to hit sixes all the time? They were not trying to hit boundaries. They were trying to hit sixes, and are there 5'2" guys? They're not big guys who can smash the ball all around the park. I accept that it was a comparatively shorter boundary sphere of the wicket, but you still got to middle the ball. You have to take it deep. Despite of that, despite losing 4 wickets and 9 runs, despite of that, they came too close. It was not a slippery outfield. It was not a fake fielding. It was bad batting by Bangladesh. And they should look themselves in the mirror and instead of finding excuses to say save their skin, they should say we played bad cricket and we are ashamed. They should tell their countrymen that we are sorry, that we could have played better and we could have won this game.
And on top of that, when your captain is saying that the game was played in the spirit of cricket, that there was nothing that was wrong, you are actually questioning the match officials for not seeing it, for not reacting to it. Could that be a problem for Nurul Hasan? Questioning the match officials?
Yeah, see, it depends on the match referee. What does he think? You know, it was not during the game, it was after the game. Maybe they let him go with a mild fine or a penalty. So I really don't know how it is going to turn around, but it is uncalled for. You know, you lost a bad game. You were running India close, but you lost it because of bad batting. And you know, even initially there was a talk that Litton Das, because he slipped, that they shouldn't have started the game. There are a lot of things. And there are ICC match referees, there are ICC umpires who will not take a side, you know, because you are in the eyes of the entire world. Why would you do these kind of things? So I was disappointed when Shakib initially said it was a wet wicket. The bottom line is that after they were ahead on that, they didn't want to play the game. Yeah. You know, if they had their wish, it should have rained the whole day and the game should have been abundant. When Litton Das went off to a blind, played a blind.
That's right. Also, you know, the fact that this rule comes into play if the players in the middle are distracted by that fake fielding. But in this case, clearly, sir, in the video, both Shanto and Litton did not even look at Virat Kohli, and the umpires didn't look, and that's why it seems to me that Bangladesh are right now being sore losers, and they could have so done without trying to court this controversy where, you know, they've lost a game. Be gracious enough to say that, that your opposition played better. But clearly they found themselves in another trouble other than the fact that they're all but out. In fact, they are out of the tournament. But thank you so much, Ashok sir, for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's it then from us here. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest. That's it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.